Today's topic, animal tissues. Now when we talk about animal tissues, like plants, the body of animals is also made up of different tissues. Different tissues which perform specific function. Like taking an example of contraction as well as relaxation. This of muscle cells, contraction and relaxation of muscle cells, it results in the movement of our body parts. That is a muscular tissue. Number 2, we say that there are certain substances that are being carried, like oxygen, then is carbon dioxide, then certain hormones, then we may say the food products which is absorbed. How these are carried from one place to another, that is with the help of blood as well as lymph. Then this blood which carries all these substances from one region to another, it's all because of the second type of tissue, which is connective tissue. And blood is an example of connective tissue. Third, we say we respond to stimuli. That means someone touch you or a pin pricks your hand. That is an external stimuli. Sometimes you feel like having food, or you do not feel comfortable inside. That is internal stimuli. So all these stimuli, their response, that is an action of nerve cells and is a property of nervous tissue. On the basis of what all they perform and how do they perform the functions, we collectively see that animal tissues are broadly classified into epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, then is connective tissue, and the fourth one is nervous tissue. Alright, so these are the four broad categories of animal tissues. Taking up the first one, process in detail. When we say epithelial tissue, now this epithelial tissue, it is basically the covering tissue. Simplest of all, simplest kind of tissue. Its basic function is to act as a protective layer. So we call it a protective covering also. Alright, it's a protective covering. Now, that basically this tissue is one or more layer of tightly cohesive sheaths which cover the external surface of the body or the internal lining. So where is the location? It is mainly present on the covering on the external surface of body. Secondly, lining the internal organs, cavities of the body. Then where are mainly the locations? As an example, we say skin, surface layer of mouth, alimentary canal. You know what is alimentary canal? Your digestive system. Then lungs. All these are made up of epithelial tissues. And this basically rests on a thin non-cellular basement membrane. How it shows its mode of action and how is it normally present? We see this epithelial tissue. It rests on a thin non-cellular basement membrane. What is it made up of if it is not cellular? It is made up of glycoprotein as well as collagen fibers. Then these generally, when it is acting as a cover, it is acting as a protection edge. What it does, it has a very important role to play. That means it will not allow germs to enter our body. Fine. It will protect ourselves from mechanical injury, from drying up of the skin, entry of germs or harmful chemicals into the body. Coming to the types of epithelial tissues. See, based on the layers and based on the types of cells it has, epithelial tissue is further of 4 types. Clear? Moving to its types. How these types are? Basically on the cell layer and shape. Maybe 2 to 3 layered, and shape may be round, maybe polygonal, maybe cuboidal, maybe simple. So on that basis we are going to divide it into, first one is, it is the squamous, squamous, squamous epithelium tissue. Number 2 is cuboidal epithelium. Number 3, columnar epithelium. Number 4, ciliated epithelium. Number 5, glandular. See, this is very important to know. Whatever the name suggests, accordingly is the type of the tissue. Cuboidal, made up of cube-like cells. Columnar, long pillar-like cells. Ciliated, it has hair-like cilia on the top. Glandular, which has secretory ducts in it, so that it can act as a secretory tissue as well. Moving to the first one, squamous epithelium. First of all, the shape of cells. It is composed of thin, flat, irregular shaped cells which fit together closely as the tiles on a floor. See, thin, flat, they fit together closely as the floors are the floor tiles. This is called simple. Why? Because it is made up of thin and flat cells and forms a delicate lining. So where is it mainly present? It is mainly present, that is the location of this squamous epithelium is mainly present in the lining of esophagus, mouth, and basically in some areas like in skin also, when it is folded up to form many layers in skin so as to form a kind of protective edge to mainly prevent wear and tear, that time this epithelium is known as stratified squamous epithelium or multi-layered epithelium. I'll show you what happens that time. Then all the cells, they are arranged in a multifold, multiple layers, and then this is the basement membrane. These are multiple layers. And where it happens? In skin area. And what do we call it? Stratified squamous epithelium. Why? Because here it is acting as a protective tissue. Protection of what? Protection of the skin from wear and tear loss. Any kind of injury, any kind of mechanical problem, or from chemicals. That time it is known as stratified squamous epithelium. Okay. No. When it is acting as a single, that time it is mainly meant to perform the following function: protection from germ entry, then from mechanical injury, helps in excretion, gas exchange, as well as secretions of coelomic fluid. Clear? This is about our squamous epithelium. Moving to the cuboidal epithelium. As the name suggests, cube-like cells. It consists of cube-like cells, mainly polygonal in view area. See, these are has a complete dense cytoplasm, nucleus, and there in between is present the cementing membrane. So we say it is the cement substance which is going to fix up the cells carefully, and this one on the lower side is the basement membrane, which is a non-cellular one. I told you, made up of glycoproteins. So this is the basement membrane. See, in this structure we say that this is basically cube-like cells, about as tall as wide, and polygonal in surface view, has a cement substance in between. Where does this kind of cell occur? Where is this tissue present? Its occurrence is mainly in the salivary ducts, which secrete saliva, pancreatic ducts, then sweat glands, then is salivary glands, thyroid glands, in the ovaries, lining of the ovaries, that is the lining or the covering. Function. What is the main function since it is present here? Mainly responsible for protection, secretion, absorption when it is present in ovaries as well as in ducts producing sperm, it is responsible for gamete formation as well. Gametes are the sex cells which are responsible for carrying out the next generation. Clear? Gamete production. Fine. This is about cuboidal. Moving to the third type. This was the second type. Moving to the third type, that is the columnar epithelium. When we say columnar epithelium, as the name suggests, cells are column-like. That means long, tall, pillar-like. Third one, columnar epithelium. Here, the structure is more or less, see, these column-like cells resting on again a basement membrane. These columnar cells have cytoplasm as well as nucleus in the center. Cytoplasm, nucleus, basement membrane. Clear? Now, this is how these column-like cells are present and are adding up onto the cells again and again. How do they look like? They are tall, pillar-like, much taller than being wide. Clear? And their nuclei are generally elongated. Since these cells are elongated, their nuclei are also elongated. Occurrence. These occur in the lining of stomach area, intestine area, and gallbladder. Also lines the mammary glands, and parts of urethra. Now, what is the function? Very clear. Obviously, lining, they are protection, aids in protection, absorption, and secretion. And you know, when these are present, especially in the stomach area and in the intestine area, in intestine, this is responsible and specialized for the absorption of water and digested food, because the maximum digestion takes place in the intestinal area and absorption of water too. So therefore its role gets specialized in the intestinal region. Fine. Moving to the ciliated epithelium, which is more or less concerned here only. The fourth type. When we say these columnar cells or the cuboidal columnar cells, they bear cilia onto the top. Cilia matlab the hair-like structures. Ye cilia. Okay, these are small hair-like structures onto the top. When they bear cilia on their free surface, basically arising from a basal granule, these are located in various areas. That means the occurrence location is certain parts of urinary tubules, of kidney, sperm ducts, and nasal passage. Then we say oviduct. Then we can say bronchioles also. Now, when it is present at all these areas and it bears cilia, the hair-like structure, its function becomes more defined, means help in the movement of mucus. So, what does it help in? Helps in movement of mucus, urine, eggs, sperm, etc. in a particular direction. This becomes its function. Function of ciliated columnar epithelium. Right. Then coming to the fifth one. That is the last one. The fifth one is a glandular epithelium. Name is also suggesting कुछ gland जैसा होगा, right? These are also columnar cells, but modified to secrete chemicals. So इनका function क्या हो गया? Secretion हो गया. So these are modified to secrete chemicals, and their occurrence or their location is they lines the glands. Which all glands? Gastric gland, pancreatic lobule, intestinal glands. What do they do here? Obviously help in secretion. Secretion of what? All those juices, whatever are used in the process of digestion, are secreted here. So how do they look like? They are somewhat like this. See. And here on the bottom, we always draw the basement membrane. And on the top, they may bear cilia, the hair. Clear? This is what is the structure that looks like. ये देखो, the secretions are here in this glandular one. What are these? These are microvilli. And what is contained here? Mucus. What is this all in the entire long array? By now you know it. It's the cytoplasm. Then where is the nucleus shifted? Here. Nucleus, cytoplasm. And this one, basement membrane. Clear? This is what is basically how do they look like. And this glandular one, what is its function? Secretion. Secretion of intestinal juices, mucus, and what it helps in digestion. Alright, the sebum on the face also is a resultant of this kind of glandular epithelium. Fine, this is all about our epithelium tissue. Thank you.